friends, as we have seen in the previous video, which was part 1 of this two-part series, the concepts of Western politics and Indian Rajniti represent two distinct yet intersecting traditions of governance and societal organization. Both reflect their respective civilizations' philosophical, cultural, and historical contexts, shaping how power, authority, and justice are conceptualized and practiced. In this part 2, the discussion elaborates on their philosophical foundations, objectives, roles of religion, approaches to power, and modern evolution. In Western traditions, the philosophical foundations of politics are deeply rooted in ideas of power dynamics and the organization of the state. Plato, in his seminal work, The Republic, emphasized the concept of justice and the role of philosopher kings as ideal rulers. For him, the state's organization should reflect a hierarchy of virtues with wisdom at its pinnacle. Aristotle in the Politics presented a more pragmatic view, describing the state as a natural institution necessary for achieving the good life. He classified governments into monarchy, aristocracy, and polity, highlighting their strengths and degenerative forms. In contrast, Indian Rajniti has historically been grounded in the principle of dharma or righteousness and moral order. Governance was seen not merely as a mechanism to wield power, but as a duty to uphold societal harmony. Kautilya's Arthashastra, often considered India's counterpart to Machiavelli's The Prince, provides a practical guide to statecraft, emphasizing diplomacy, economic management, and military strategy. Unlike the Western focus on idealism or power centric realism, Kautilya proposed a balance between ethics and pragmatism, reflecting the dharmic worldview. The core objectives of politics in the West are governance, lawmaking, and maintaining a balance of power. The evolution of Western political systems from Greek city states to modern liberal democracies reflects a consistent focus on creating frameworks for collective decision making. The establishment of checks and balances in the US Constitution and the parliamentary system in Britain exemplify this pursuit of equilibrium. Rajniti has historically prioritized societal welfare and ethical governance. Ancient Indian rulers such as Ashoka the Great exemplified this approach. Following his transformation after the Kalinga War, Ashoka reoriented his administration towards Dhamma, which is a Pali term related to Dharma, focusing on welfare policies, moral edicts, and religious tolerance. The objective of governance in India has traditionally been aligned with the concept of Sarvodaya or universal upliftment, a principle revived in modern times by Mahatma Gandhi during the Indian independence movement. Religion's role in governance marks a significant point of divergence between Western politics and Indian Rajniti. Western political thought, especially since the Enlightenment, has leaned towards secularism. The works of thinkers like John Locke emphasize the separation of church and state, a principle institutionalized in modern democracy. For instance, the US First Amendment ensures freedom of religion while preventing its imposition by the state. Despite this, religion has occasionally played a covert role, particularly in shaping societal norms and values. In Indian Rajniti, religion and governance were historically intertwined. However, this integration was not dogmatic but philosophical, as rulers were guided by the dharmic principles that transcended individual faiths. For instance, The Gupta Empire is celebrated not only for its administrative efficiency but also for fostering a pluralistic culture where Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism coexisted. In modern times, the Indian constitution reflects a unique blend of secularism and pluralism. Its provisions, like Article 25, ensure freedom of religion while emphasizing equal respect for all faiths, a concept rooted in the ancient ethos of Sarvadharma Sambhava, equality for all religions. Western politics has often been pragmatic and power centric. Machiavelli argued in The Prince that rulers should prioritize the stability of their state above all else, even resorting to manipulation or coercion if necessary. Machiavelli's assertion, and I quote, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both," unquote, encapsulates the perspective. Similarly, modern political systems, such as realism in international relations, underscore power as the driving force behind political actions. In contrast, Indian Rajniti tempers pragmatism with a guiding ethical framework. Kautilya, while advocating realpolitik, insisted that rulers must act in the long term interest of their subjects and adhere to dharmic principles. Raj Dharma, the duty of the king, emphasized that power is a tool for ensuring justice and welfare. Historical figures like Akbar the Great epitomized this approach, adopting policies of Sulh Kul or peace for all to maintain harmony in a diverse empire. The evolution of Western politics has been shaped by ideological movements such as liberalism, socialism, and communism. The emergence of democratic systems in the 18th and 19th century, spurred by revolutions in America and France, marked a significant shift towards governance by the people. Western politics has continually adapted to challenges like globalization, populism, and technological disruptions, maintaining its focus on institutional stability and individual rights. Indian Rajniti, meanwhile, has evolved as a hybrid system that blends tradition and modernity. Post independence India adopted a parliamentary democracy inspired by British institutions but infused with local values. Leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru envisioned a secular democratic state while drawing from ancient traditions of tolerance and justice. Simultaneously, Gandhi's emphasis on decentralization and village governance offered an alternative vision that continues to inspire grassroots movements. In contemporary India, Rajniti faces challenges such as identity politics, corruption, and balancing rapid economic growth with social equity. Yet, its ability to adapt and integrate diverse perspectives, whether regional, cultural, or ideological, remains a testament to its enduring resilience. The comparative trajectories of Western politics and Indian Rajniti reveal complementary strengths. Western systems excel in institutional frameworks and safeguarding individual liberties, while Indian traditions offer valuable insights into ethical governance and pluralistic coexistence. As the world faces complex global challenges, these traditions can inspire hybrid models that uphold justice, harmony, and collective welfare. In the words of Amartya Sen, and I quote him, "We can learn from both Western liberal values and Indian traditions of public reasoning and tolerance." Unquote. This synthesis is not merely aspirational but necessary for addressing the interconnected realities of the 21st century. In the rapidly changing world, both Western politics and Indian Rajniti face complex challenges that test their adaptability and relevance. These challenges reflect broader global transformations, societal tensions, and ideological shifts. However, each tradition addresses them in ways shaped by its historical, cultural, and institutional contexts. Let us first talk about challenges in Western politics. Globalization has redefined political and economic landscapes. It has created opportunities for international cooperation while challenging traditional notions of national sovereignty. Western nations, particularly those in Europe and North America, grapple with managing this tension. For instance, institutions like the European Union or EU epitomize the attempt to foster integration among sovereign states, promoting economic interdependence and shared governance. However, the Brexit referendum of 2016 revealed the challenges of this approach, as many in the United Kingdom perceived European Union membership as a threat to national autonomy. Similarly, global issues like climate change and pandemics demand coordinated responses. This was seen in the Paris Agreement on Climate Change and international efforts during the COVID 19 pandemic. Yet, balancing global commitments with domestic political and economic priorities remains a contentious issue. Critics argue that globalization sometimes increases inequalities, benefiting multinational corporations at the expense of local industries and workers. A surge in populism across the West has disrupted traditional political systems. Leaders like Donald Trump in the United States and far right movements in Europe have capitalized on public dissatisfaction with elites, globalization, and immigration. Populism often emphasizes nationalist rhetoric, undermines institutional norms, and creates deep political polarization. For example, in the United States, political discourse has become increasingly divisive, threatening bipartisan cooperation and democratic norms. In countries like Hungary and Poland, populist leaders have eroded judicial independence and press freedoms, raising concerns about the health of democracy. As political theorist John Werner Muller notes, populism can undermine pluralism, a core value of liberal democracies, by portraying opposition as illegitimate. Now, let us talk about challenges in Indian Rajniti. One of the defining features of Indian politics is its engagement with identity based issues, including caste, religion, and regionalism. While this diversity reflects India's pluralistic society, it also creates challenges in achieving national unity and fair governance. Caste politics, for instance, continues to influence elections, with parties leveraging caste identities for electoral gains. Movements like the Mandal Commission of 1990 have reshaped political and social landscapes. It addressed historical injustices but also sparked debates about meritocracy and equality. Religious identity has also become a focal point with debates around secularism and the rise of majoritarian politics. This has triggered polarization. Issues such as the Ayodhya dispute and passaging the Citizenship Amendment Act or CAA sparked nationwide protests. This highlighted tensions between India's secular constitutional framework and religious sentiments. Regional aspirations manifest in demands for greater autonomy. This was seen in movements in states like Punjab, Tamil Nadu, and Nagaland, requiring nuanced approaches to governance and balance federalism with national cohesion. India faces the dual challenge of fostering rapid economic growth while addressing deep seated social inequalities. Economic liberalization in 1991 spurred significant growth, making India one of the world's largest economies. However, disparities in wealth and access to opportunities remain stark, with rural and marginalized communities often excluded from the benefits of development. Social challenges such as education, healthcare, and gender inequality further complicate governance. Initiatives like Beti Bachao Beti Padhao and the National Education Policy or NEP of 2020 aim to address these issues, but implementation gaps persist. Balancing traditional values with aspirations for modernization also requires sensitive policy making. For instance, while promoting digital India and urbanization, policies must accommodate cultural and regional diversity. Environmental sustainability poses a critical challenge. India's rapid industrialization has led to environmental degradation, but global pressures to reduce carbon emissions must align with domestic development needs. The success of initiatives like the International Solar Alliance demonstrates India's potential to lead in sustainable practices while ensuring growth. Despite these challenges, the frameworks of Western politics and Indian Rajniti remain relevant as they possess mechanisms to adapt and respond. The resilience of Western liberal democracies lies in their ability to evolve through debate, legal systems, and civic engagement. Similarly, Indian Rajniti, deeply rooted in pluralism and ethical governance, has shown remarkable flexibility in integrating tradition with modernity. Western nations are experimenting with reforms to address populist concerns such as increasing transparency in governance and empowering local communities. In India, grassroots movements and innovations in governance like Digital India and direct benefit transfers demonstrate efforts to modernize while maintaining inclusivity. To conclude, the concepts of Western politics and Indian Rajniti have unique origins and trajectories shaped by cultural, historical, and philosophical contexts. While Western politics has emphasized institutional frameworks and power dynamics, Indian Rajniti has historically centered on ethical governance and societal welfare. Despite their differences, both systems have evolved to address modern challenges, reflecting the timeless need for organized, just, and responsive governance.